for a brand new season of A Football's Destiny presented by Fortune Sports. Thank you all for joining in. Hope you're having a fantastic, sucking down lots of glizzies, deleting beers. I'm one of your hosts, Damon. Joined as always with John and our brand new co-host, Hunter.
How you doing?
We're doing great.
You guys having a good day?
Doing fantastic.
It's a great day now.
It's always a great day to talk football.
Thanks for having me on here. Little introduction about myself. I'm an Arizona native, born and raised, lived here for 26 years. Met John and Damon back in November. Realized that we had a shared love for sports, and a few months passed by and they asked me to come on here and be one of the co-hosts, and here I am.
Oh yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, we're definitely happy to have you.
Yes, sir.
So before we get started on this wonderful episode of A Football's Destiny presented by Fortune Sports, we do have a little bit of a surprise. As you can see on the TV behind us, we do have a website now, and along with that comes our merch line. So I'm very excited to introduce this. We worked long and hard on this process, but this will be up here on the screen the entire time. If you scan that QR code in the middle, it'll take you to our website. And if you buy any merch during this time, use promo code FORTUNE. You just got to go on the website and you'll get $3 off your order. But you have to spend more than $10. It's pretty easy to do so, just because a lot of our items are a little bit more than that.
You want to show them the merch?
Oh, yeah. Luckily, we all have merch on right now. So these are a couple of our t-shirt options, and then Damon has
This
our
Packer
wonderful
jersey
hat.
is not available at our merchant store. It's available on Packers Pro Shop. But this hat is, it's a wonderful hat.
Yeah, and then we all got our wonderful Fortune Sports.
Perfect colors.
We got our
If you can order
can
them for
koozies.
4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
We also have the skinny can koozie that's pink
For anybody who drinks White Claws.
for our White Claw drinkers. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Oh, sorry, I said that already. Alrighty. Well, without further ado, we are going to be talking about the AFC East today. There is a reason behind that, as Hunter over here is a big fan of the New York Packers.
New York Jets. New York Jets. Come on.
Basically, at
Yeah.
this point, jeez.
Yeah, we'll get into that though.
That's also why I'm wearing my Cobb jersey.
But one more thing before we get started, if you guys have any questions while we're going, just go ahead and throw them in the chat. We'll be able to answer them as soon as possible. And yeah, well, we did talk about the New York Packers, but we're going to start with the Buffalo Bills because obviously they were the best team in the AFC East this past year. So the record last year was 13-3. Obviously, it was a 16-game season because of their unfortunate turn of events when they were playing the Bengals. Don't have to get into that. Damar Hamlin's going to play some this season, and we're really excited about that. So we're going to go over their offseason moves, and then we'll have a couple questions for the boys to answer for me. All right? Sound good?
Sounds great.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So unfortunately for the Bills, they did lose some big names in free agency. The biggest one is linebacker Tremaine Edmonds. He left for the Chicago Bears on a 4-year, $72 million contract. For a 25-year-old linebacker, that is a tough L for the Bills to take, and really give some question marks about their interior defense there, plugging up the middle for those runs. Also, who they lost in free agency includes running back Devin Singletary, who went to Houston on a 1-year deal, wide receiver Jamison Crowder, who went to the New York Giants on a 1-year deal, and wide receiver Isaiah McKenzie, who also went to Indianapolis on a 1-year deal. Those wide receivers that left are going to be a little bit of a foreshadow. Obviously, they don't really have a wide receiver 3 right now since they left. But on the bright side, they did gain guard Connor McGovern from the Dallas Cowboys. Sad. I didn't. He was played more fullback for the Cowboys. So
I'm just surprised you didn't cheer about getting Tremaine Edmonds.
Oh, I'm sure.
You're bandwagon. You just cheer
He's
for every team.
He's actually a Bears fan, but we'll get into that later too.
Cowboys fan, Bears fan, Titans
But
fan.
no, that's not true.
Colts fan.
Just relax.
Chargers fan.
But yeah, he signed a 3-year, $22 million deal. And then they also re-signed Jordan Poyer, free safety. He is kind of old. He got a 2-year, $12 million contract. He is 32 years old, but before, I mean, even still now, he's one of the best safeties in the NFL. So it's a good thing for them. And then they signed linebacker Leonard Floyd from the Los Angeles Rams on a 1-year. He had 9 sacks last year for the Rams, and now he gets to play opposite of Von Miller. So I really do think that 9-year sacks is going to bump up a little bit. He is a little bit up there in age as well, but anytime you have somebody that plays opposite of Von Miller, you can expect their sacks to go up. Fair statement.
I definitely think that Leonard Floyd definitely fills the space that Tremaine Edmonds, but not the void, because especially with the upside that Tremaine Edmonds had being so young, but his production will be up with Von Miller being opposite of him.
Yep. I definitely agree with you. And then let's talk about, this is going to be a little bit of a longer segment here. Running back Damon Harris comes over from New England. And for some reason, we'll talk about this a lot, that the AFC East had a lot of players just change interdivisionally. Like Damon Harris from New England to Buffalo, and we have a lot more of those coming up. But I want to pose this question to you guys. Do you think Damon Harris is Singletary's replacement as the RB1? Or do you think he'll be the RB2 to James Cook?
I personally really like James Cook, so I hope that they, form a backfield where they can share time. But I see James Cook getting more time than Damian Harris. One thing about James Cook, I feel like him and Damian Harris really both aren't running back ones, but that duo together will be able to make a splash.
I'm going to disagree with you a little bit, and I hope that's okay. I really like Damian Harris. I think he deserves a shot at being a true running back one instead of what he had to deal with in New England. I was high on James Cook too. I'm a huge fan of Georgia running backs, and he's also Dalvin Cook's brother. So like him coming into the draft and coming out of college, I was super high on him. What I've seen in the past, I'm not super impressed with. I'm starting to lean on the hot take of not good. So I think Damian Harris takes over the lead in the backfield here. James Cook kind of comes down maybe as a third down pass-catching running back in the backfield just to mix it up. But I think Damian Harris has it on lock.
Yeah, you definitely are right. James Cook is not his brother.
No, he's not.
Just to add a little bit.
We'll talk about his brother a little bit later, too.
Just to add some stats on top of that, to Damon's point, James Cook has never carried the football more than 14 times in his entire career, college or NFL.
That's insane.
In Week 13 versus the Patriots last year, he had 14 carries for 62 yards. So that is the most he's had in his NFL career, and actually the most in his college career, because before that, it was 13 carries. So, I personally am on Damon's bandwagon here, saying that I don't think he's capable of an RB1 workload. But, I mean, hopefully he proves me wrong. I hope Bills fans think the same thing. But I really do think Damian Harris has that backfield unlock. And also, when we talk about the Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson might have a big year this year just because he doesn't have that overshadow of Damian Harris.
I'm super excited for him in fantasy. It sucks because I always looked at him the past couple of years as a guy that I could get in a way later round draft because not a lot of people knew about him. And then it always seemed like Damian Harris got injured. So then as soon as he comes in, he gobbles up all those points. But the fact that now he's a little bit more on the radar, he's the running back one, he's going to go pretty early. So I don't know if people are going to overhype this and draft him way too early and I can't even touch him, or if I'm still going to get him at a decent value. But
let him take him early.
Yeah, it'll be their mistake.
It'll be their mistake. All right, I'm going to talk about the Bills draft picks just a little bit. Not all of them, don't worry, because there's a lot of them. But in round one, pick 25, the Buffalo Bills did select Dalton Kincaid. He's a tight end out of Utah, and I expect him probably to be the tight end two behind Dawson Knox this year, who obviously was a fantasy dud. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I definitely drafted him later in my rounds, and that was not good. But Dalton Kincaid is the first Bills offensive player to be drafted since Josh Allen in 2018, which is kind of interesting. That's 5 years ago now. Jesus. And he is 6'4", 246 pounds. So going back to what I brought up earlier about how the Bills lost their wide receiver 3 and 4, they should have went wide receiver personally, I think, in the draft, but they did decide to go with the 2 tight end look. And Dalton Kincaid was probably one of the best tight ends in this draft. So I do want to pose the question to you guys. do the Bills really need a wide receiver 3 to compete for a championship? Because obviously, I think we can all agree that this is a championship caliber team. It has been for the last 4 years now, I guess. But do they need that third guy, or can they run the 2 wide receivers and 2 tight end sets?
You want to go first?
In my opinion, as long as Josh Allen has that third check down, I've always looked at Josh Allen as a guy who loves targeting the third. Whether it was Gabe Davis when he was running in the slot in the past, or it was Dawson Knox a couple years ago being that tight end, the third option. So as long as he's got that third option out there with Stephon Diggs, as long as he doesn't leave, I think that they'll be okay with the 2 tight end set. Also, if you got more of a ground and pound attack with Damon Harris this year, you might want to have 2 tight ends out there.
Yeah, my thought here is that in this draft they just went best available, and Kincaid is like matchup nightmare, 6'4", 250,
yep.
And only going to get bigger as he gets in the NFL. Obviously, Dawson Knox is the one that is tight end 1 right now, but we could definitely see Kincaid as like specific red zone packages, stuff like that.
Especially if Dawson Knox does what he did last year.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
I guess I've never really looked at.
Third
I don't know
down,
if you
tight
guys
end,
agree
blocking.
with me, but Dawson Knox was never a red zone threat in my opinion. He was more of a he kind of runs straight up the middle, and hopefully they don't realize it, and the safeties kind of go out, and then he's able to just drop it in, and it's a big run.
Damon, I just want to take a break in the action and say that Braden says you're the GOAT.
Let's go. Thank you, Braden.
All right, round 2, pick 59 is Osiris Torrance, guard out of Florida. So Torrance has the talent to become the starter. In training camp, he's kind of been getting splitting reps with Connor McGovern for that starting guard spot. But they did also sign, or they did have before, Ryan Bates, who's another guard. So they have like 3 guards in that set that are all capable of starting. So it's kind of up in the air what Osiris is going to do. But he was a beast in both the run and passing game for Florida last year. So, I mean, honestly, I think it was kind of a steal in the second round. I mean, he could have been a first-round guard. You don't see that too often. You see more tackles go in the first round, but he's still a beast. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets on the field this year.
I agree with you. Offensive linemen don't get enough love, and this guy is a beast. I like him.
Be able to sit behind McGovern as well and learn a few things.
Yeah, that might actually be the best thing for him.
There's always injuries at offensive line, too. You might be able to plug and play. Absolutely. It's a decent pick by them.
All righty. Anybody have any questions about the Bills before we move on?
Before we move on, just because I love sports betting, I just want to note that the Bills over-under line on the FanDuel Sportsbook is at 10.5. And personally, I don't know if this is foreshadowing because we're supposed to say this to the end, but I would smash the over.
Absolutely smash you over on that.
Oh, 10.5? Yeah, definitely.
Even it's kind of disrespectful to them. Personally, I think I don't see the Bills actually as getting better this offseason. I think that they kind of did stay the same, but when they end up being the 2 seed, right?
Yeah.
When you're the 2 seed in the AFC, you don't.
Yeah, it's hard to get better.
Have to get a lot
from
better.
There, yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Also, before we move on to our next team, I also want to shout out Chris Jepson, as he was the one on our Instagram post. Go follow us at Fortune Sports Group, by the way, because that could be you next week. Who knows? But he did win one of these beautiful can koozies, and it'll be coming his way very, very shortly. So I want to shout out Chris. Appreciate you.
Cheers, Chris.
Cheers, Chris.
Well, good job.
Oh, geez.
Cheers, us.
Yeah.
On to the Dolphins.
Damon, I think you should take this away because we need to save the New York Packers.
Makes sense.
Hunter.
The Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. I don't know the rest of that song. If you're a diehard Dolphin fan, you probably do. But what y'all did last year with a record of 9-8, kind of mediocre. I thought you guys were going to do better. But things are looking up, in my opinion, for you guys. I think you're going to do better. What you lost in free agency this year was tight end Mike Gesicki to New England. Like John was talking about earlier, a lot of going through interdivisional trading people. Along with that, punter Thomas Morstead went to the New York Packers. Jets, sorry.
Whoa.
Sorry, he didn't play for the Packers.
Disrespectful.
But that's all they really lost. What they gained in free agency, linebacker David Long Jr. from Tennessee, 2-year deal for $11 million. I don't know how good David Long Jr. actually is. I do know that in Madden, I picked up this linebacker a lot because his speed is just outrageous. He's a little bit shorter on the linebacker side, but he does have like a 92, 93 speed in Madden, and he was always at the late round to pick up, and I loved him in Madden. They also gained in free agency quarterback Mike White from the New York Jets, 2-year deal. Another guy that came from the same division. Another guy who came from the same division, guard Dan Feely from the New York Jets on a 1-year deal.
And
wide receiver Braxton Berrios from the New York Jets on a 1-year deal. Not from the same division, finally. Wide receiver now called Chosen Anderson from the Arizona Cardinals on a 1-year deal. I don't know why I did quotations, because that's actually his name.
yeah,
So I probably shouldn't have done quotations. But
John and I were talking about this the other day, and I honestly forgot what his old name was. So
Robbie
Anderson,
we're just running with Chosen now.
he's fast.
Hey,
Really
the
fast.
Chosen one
He's, well,
in Miami.
I don't know if he's like LeBron level where you could tattoo that on your back necessarily. But
Hopefully, he didn't have Robbie tattooed on him already.
that'd be embarrassing, huh?
Bet you Ron Artest probably did.
Oh my god.
But yeah, several New York Jets left and went to the Dolphins. Losing Mike White, he's probably one of the best backups in the league currently. Definitely a plug-and-play quarterback. You're not expecting much out of him other than throw the ball. So I think
Not a
that
lot of times you can see a backup quarterback come in and pass for over 500 yards.
Yeah.
There's a reason his jersey is in the Hall of Fame.
very true. Braxton Berrios, I see his production going up quite a bit. Having Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill to kind of draw attention. There's going to be a lot of screens to Braxton, a lot of slants, pretty much the same way that he was used in the Jets offense.
Absolutely. I agree with that. I think Braxton Berrios was used that way a lot for the Jets.
Yeah.
He should be able to play for the Dolphins very similarly.
Also unrelated to football, Braxton Berrios is like dating like some supermodel now. So he's winning on and off the field. Just
Follow
so
John on TikTok to keep up with all your celebrity news. I don't watch. I don't buy the magazines at the store from E.
How sports and pop culture mix, presented by John Pakula.
He also watches the Kardashians, I heard.
Oh yeah, but
Just for Kanye.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think he's on the show anymore.
He just watches reruns.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely. That.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, moving on. So.
We don't have a choose. Dolphins re-signed this year to Tagovailoa, 5th-year option. Is he the guy?
If he can keep his brain inside his head.
Whoa!
The first out-of-pocket comment of the season. There'll be a lot of So there'll be a lot of them. Yeah.
Congrats. Yeah. That was scary. That was really scary.
No, yeah. Oh, in all seriousness,
He shouldn't have come back as fast as he did.
Oh, definitely.
In all seriousness, I feel like he should have just. What were they competing for? Like, yes, I understand you want to stay competitive, you want to make the playoffs, but when your health should come first. Because if you don't have your health, then you can't play football.
I agree.
Speak louder, Damon. Forever hold your peace. No, I'm just kidding.
I need to. Sorry. I didn't realize that. So yeah, I agree with you, Hunter, on the Tua thing. The Dolphins trainer got a lot of backlash from that and got fired, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's a lot of things happening within the Dolphins organization over the last couple of years.
There had to be more Tua of like, let me play.
Yeah,
I think say as a trainer when you got a player like
who says that they're fine.
Yeah,
they're grown ass men that
right
can make those decisions for themselves. Yeah, I definitely think that Tua, he has a lot of upside. Being able to exercise that fifth-year option, it gives them a little bit more time before they have to actually extend him. Most of the other quarterbacks in his draft have been extended now, the ones that are going to receive extensions. So obviously, depending on his performance this year, will pretty much solely depend if he gets an extension or not.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn about it. Like I think he, at least when he was healthy last year, he did enough to earn that extension. But also, like, the Dolphins are kind of like, I don't know, playing cautious, I guess.
Yeah.
About waiting to see like what happens, and like if he can perform at the same level, if not a little bit better, then I think he earns a long-term deal like later on. But right now, it's just like, I don't know. It just I'm alright with them, riding it out and seeing what happens versus just slapping a bunch of money on the table and say, "Here you go, Tua," and then doesn't go so well. Obviously, being one of the only left-handed quarterbacks in the league, that it messes with the whole offense. If I'm being completely honest, like it depends.
It does, but it could also throw off the defense. So
Well, that part is true too. Oh, we have a question in the chat.
We do.
It says, "How many glizzies can Damon take?"
Like,
why would you even read that?
like,
Dude,
like at once,
I wasn't gonna read
at
it.
once or a whole session.
I wasn't gonna read it, but a bunch of people are like, "Very good question." So I had to.
That is a very good question. Well, personally, I don't take any glizzies. I leave all the glizzy taking to John because he's a Cowboys fan, and Cowboys fans take glizzies constantly until they implode and fall off the face of the earth. I was gonna say October.
January.
That's too early.
Second
Yeah.
round.
Yeah.
Second round.
Too
Sorry,
early.
you
Yeah.
guys implode in November.
Oh,
Right as
right.
playoffs
Yeah.
come around.
This chat is out of pocket, but
Moving on to another player that was re-signed by the Dolphins that I am very high on and I think was a good move by them, and it's not just because he's a Wisconsin Badger, but linebacker Andrew Van Ginkel. Big fan. I think he's very underrated and not talked about enough. Another player that was re-signed by the Dolphins is running back Raheem Mostert and running back Jeff Wilson, who they both just got recently from the 49ers past year. Both got a 2-year deal.
I think with Raheem Mostert, biggest thing there is, again, there's only one football on the field, and with Tyreek and Jalen being the ones that are going to perform the most, his numbers were kind of down this last year, but for a running back that continues to get older, it's not a terrible thing to not have to have him run 15, 20 times a game.
Yeah.
So I've always really liked Mostert.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you got two of the fastest wide receivers in the league. Why not add the fastest running back to that offense as well?
I do think it's funny that they both got like similar money and similar like length in contract.
They're probably kind of just expecting the same out of both of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, how much more proof do you need that like they are trying to do like a committee? Like obviously we've seen that. Well, even like Saquon Barkley right now doesn't have a new contract because like everybody's worried about like running back longevity. So you want to give them big contracts. So if you have two that are very speedy and skillful enough, like why don't you sign them both to multiple year deals and hope for the best,
Yeah, running back is definitely the most disrespected position in the league. Obviously, we can talk about it here in a little bit with the possibility with the Packers, or not Packers, the Patriots.
I thought you were about to say the Jets.
No, I was talking about how Dalvin Cook doesn't have a job right now either. I think that's absolutely absurd.
That's crazy to me.
Is it like because nobody wants him, or is it because like he's just waiting and like lurking in the shadows?
Well, like the fact that the Vikings didn't bring him back.
Oh, that part's true too.
Is absurd to begin with, because he wasn't. It's not like he's asking for crazy amount of money. It didn't seem like he was asking for a crazy amount of years on the deal either. So
tough. You just have a backup running back coming in, and as soon as you go down with an injury, he just performs the best, as good as you did.
Yeah.
Like Alexander Madison was coming in and doing just as good.
Yeah.
So it's a coin toss because you got to fix his contract too. You can't pay him like a true running back one. If he's a backup, it's gonna hurt your salary cap.
I agree.
We can move on to some trades for the Dolphins this offseason. Traded tight end Hunter Long and a 2023 draft pick. third-round pick who became linebacker Byron Young from Tennessee for cornerback Jalen Ramsey.
God damn.
That was one of the craziest trades I saw in the offseason. Like, it was just out of the blue.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting it. I think the Rams, where Jalen Ramsey is coming from, they will obviously do better than they did last year. But this move for him, he's playing opposite of who's the other corner
Xavier
there?
Howard.
Yeah, Xavier Howard. So that defense has already been pretty solid. So adding Jalen Ramsey, again, he is getting older, but he is still proven that he is a top cornerback in this league.
Matson did bring up in the chat, he was talking about the Dolphins defense, and he said maybe number 1 next season.
There's
another team in this division that definitely has a better defense than the Dolphins.
Can somebody say biased or not?
Shout to Cali.
Okay, in the chat,
49ers.
who had this last year? Who had a better defense, the Dolphins or the Jets?
So we're talking about the best defense in the league, 49ers.
I mean, you're not wrong there.
Oh, yeah. They're the best defense. I don't know nothing.
Oh, you guys are ridiculous.
But yeah, Jalen Ramsey definitely
definitely
doesn't make their defense worse.
No, it makes it
so
better. Yeah, for sure.
I feel like that's actually the big difference between them and the Bills. Is the Bills, again, they didn't actually elevate anything at all, where I think the Dolphins actually did. Again, getting Tua healthy is obviously main priority, but there's a lot of upside in the players that they did acquire this offseason.
Absolutely. Might as well move on to draft picks for the Dolphins. What do you say?
I'm here for it.
No first round pick this year.
No first round pick this year. They get that taken away?
Yes.
That was the Brian Flores thing.
Oh, yeah, like when they tried to invite Tom Brady.
Yeah, and they just because this year in the draft they only had 31 first round picks, so they just said
nobody gets it. Goodbye.
That's weird that they didn't I mean, I understand you're not just gonna give it to somebody.
Yeah, it's not one of the, what do they call it, the compensatory picks that they do. It wasn't one of those.
Oh, yeah, no, they lost that. So round 2, pick 51. Technically, the Dolphins' first pick of the draft. They selected Cam Smith, cornerback out of South Carolina for the Gamecocks.
Goodness gracious!
Yeah, you could resist, could you?
No, they call themselves the Cocks.
They do.
Go Cox.
Yeah, go Cox, I guess.
In round 3, pick 84, they selected Devon
Chaney.
Is it running back Texas A&M? Embarrassing that I didn't know how to say his name because I do think this is actually a really good running back.
I was about to say very high production at Texas A&M, and it's not like they don't play some FCS schools. They're in one of the best divisions in college football, so
yeah,
obviously he can make a impact right away.
Yep.
So
2022.
All of the other NFL content that I've seen this offseason is they were oh, it's great that they signed Mostert, but just wait till this guy comes in, because they're really expecting him to eventually, not right away, but eventually be the RB1 in this.
So I mean,
offense.
Did the Dolphins kind of jump the gun there, trying to re-sign those two? Because 2 years for both of them, and then just have this guy who could potentially be your number 1. And then
yes, okay, I agree, but also at the same time, if they obviously wanted to go committee, and they have been for the who knows how long, so that they got a splash in the draft by getting this guy in the second round. But it's always good because we talked about, running backs are too I was
gonna say the value that they're getting here with the contract that a third round running back gets, they don't have to commit to him long term if it doesn't pan out. And having those other 2 guys on 2-year deals, if Devin does take that next step in the NFL, then they don't have long-term deals that they have to try to trade away or, lose out money on.
Absolutely.
So we'll go back to you loving sports betting. Dolphins.
You love me some sports betting.
Vegas odds are at 9.5 wins this season. Obviously, if you would have took the over last year, you would have been wrong.
I think, but their over last year was probably 7.5.
Yeah, okay. That part is probably true as well.
But at 9.5, since they only are giving the Bills 10.5, I think that this is a little over, in my opinion, what it should be. So I would take the under here.
You're taking the under because you're a Jets fan.
Hey,
I'm taking the over because I think there were some unfortunate injuries to the Dolphins team last year.
They were undefeated at one point, so like
It
last
doesn't go
season.
down.
Yeah,
They
if
finish
who knows
better
how
than
much
that.
they keep winning, if
Yeah,
so it
the
doesn't
Jets
get hurt at
also
all.
started like 6-1. So
And what happened there?
Zach
That's why
Wilson.
there's a reason we're talking about them last.
Zach Wilson happened. Sure, they did get last weekend.
All right. Anything else on the Miami Dolphins?
Any questions for anyone? From anyone?
None of this makes sense to me. I'm just here to support. Well, we appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
You stay as long as you want.
No, stay forever. Hit that sub button.
Yeah, please and thank you. Also, this is a great chance to go on fortunesportscrew.com and cop some of this merch that we got. Come on, it's really nice. I promise.
There are a couple other things on the website as well. We have our individual bios on there with some pictures that my lovely wife took for us.
That's true.
They do look great.
Shout out director of content creation,
JBug710.
Yeah,
We
couldn't be here without her. If we're being completely honest.
We don't do ads.
What if you have a wedding coming up? You're in the Phoenix area.
Next is the Patriots.
Oh, me and Damon are going to share this one because we're going to leave the Jets all to you, buddy. They're all you.
New England Patriots.
You get the draft picks. Last year, Patriots record was 8-9, one less than the Dolphins, so they are finishing behind them, third in the division. Lost in free agency this year. They lost wide receiver Jacoby Myers to Las Vegas on a 3-year, $33 million deal. Is that a lot of money for him?
I personally think so.
Yeah.
A year?
Again, he's going to one of those teams where they're not really expected to do much.
Vegas is known for that because you remember
we don't talk about Las
Zay
Vegas.
Jones last year. He got a bag from them. From
the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Right?
He performed really well last year. Yeah.
I don't talk about Raiders wide receivers because I don't want to get canceled.
Oh.
They're
Antonio Brown, you want to come on?
And the chat wants you to take off your hat for a second. Also, somebody asked if they can buy the hat off of Damon's head.
Yeah, it's actually, if you go to fortunesportscrew.com, we actually also have them in a black and white colorway and also a green and white
You
colorway.
want this exact one? I'll sign it and I'll send it to you personally if we hit 100 subs. And first person, anybody says Damon's hat in the chat, we'll pick somebody randomly if we get to 100 subs after this live stream.
All you have to do,
send it to you right
comment
now.
Damon's hat.
Damon's hat.
We get 100 subs.
Somebody said I'll take Damon's hat for $40.
This isn't a betting war. 100 subs.
50. Oh,
send it to you. Oh, maybe it is a betting war.
65. Oh my God, we're going crazy.
Yeah, we are.
But yeah, Jacoby Myers definitely got overpaid, but good for him.
I mean,
catch a bag.
Could do something there. He is wide receiver one now, technically there.
Yeah, Hunter Renfro's. No, I think he's gone too, isn't he?
Last thing about your hat, you have to sign it, just so you know. You have to sign it.
Yeah, I would absolutely.
We'll all sign it. Fuck it. Just kidding. No, that'll go down in value.
Yeah, my signature. Trust me.
Nelson Aguilar.
Yep. They also lost wide receiver Nelson Aguilar to Baltimore on a 1-year deal. I believe he only got a 1 year. Well, no, I can't believe he only got a 1 year. Actually, yeah, 100%.
No, yeah, it's expected.
Sorry, Nelson. We ripped on you in the past, but you haven't done anything to prove me wrong. So
at this point in his career, I feel like he's just kind of bouncing around, trying to find a home, trying to, I guess, at least be competitive. And the Patriots somehow are always in it, but I guess he wanted to go play with Lamar.
Yeah, which isn't a bad option.
No, not at all. By any means.
We already touched on it earlier. Running back Damien Harris went to the Buffalo Bills on a 1-year deal. Once again, just interdivisional. Players they gained in free agency: wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster from Kansas City on a 3-year, $25 million deal.
I was very surprised about this.
Yeah.
That was the last place I really thought he was going, if I'm being completely honest.
Well, it was just like
But-
you just won a championship. You could have ran it back with the Chiefs, and you decided to. I understand, maybe change the scenery, and
You got your ring.
you got your
Go
ring.
get your bag now. 'Cause
Yeah.
You weren't getting paid by Kansas City.
$8.3 million.
No, yeah, they
a
weren't
year.
really looking to like pay. They first out of their camp, out of the Chiefs camp, they think Kadarius Toney's the wide receiver one easily, like by far.
Yeah.
So like they weren't trying to pay anybody else. They proved it though. It's like they didn't
They're-
have like a really true wide receiver one last year, and they won the whole goddamn thing.
The Chiefs wide receiver
You know?
one is a guy named Travis Kelce.
Oh,
so
okay. Well, that's
Yeah, 100%.
right.
He just happens to play tight end.
Speaking of tight ends, you guys are going crazy in the chat. I love it.
Damon's hat.
Damon's at.
Okay,
Subs,
one
100 subs.
one entry only.
100 subs. I don't know. You call your mom, call your best
Yeah.
friend, call your neighbor's dog. You gotta get 100 subs for this thing to be signed and sent to you. I'll even pay for the shipping and handling. 100 subs. Speaking of tight ends, tight end Mike Gesicki, we touched on it earlier, from Miami, went to the Patriots. So after that, I'm gonna go ahead and say the Patriots have a decent wide receiver, like a pass catching room.
Yeah, and they want to add DeAndre Hopkins on top of that.
And
That's
Dalvin
crazy.
Cook possibly.
That's crazy.
That's really what I
You might have something to worry about here.
I made my predictions for the season before all of this Dalvin
Yeah.
Cook and DeAndre Hopkins. That seems at least where DeAndre wants to be. We'll see if a deal gets done, and if so, then I'm gonna have to definitely reevaluate what's gonna happen in
Did
the
you say
division.
something sus? Because I hear a lot of pause in the chat right now.
I have no idea. Maybe. Say it in the chat so I know.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I said. I might have.
Sometimes what comes out of our mouths are definitely
Sometimes I don't
questionable.
mean it, but sometimes it is super sus. Not as sus as John deleting glizzies. But
Oh.
they just disappeared.
Yeah.
But
A lot
yeah,
of big
they got
suspicion.
a pretty decent wide receiver room. They just may not have a quarterback that can get them the ball. System quarterback.
That's
I'll
what you-
die on that hill. I'll die on that hill. I don't
Big
believe in
system
Mac
quar-
Jones. I don't believe in Mac Jones.
What
at all.
about Bailey Zappi here, whatever?
When they drafted him, I told you last year that he was going to take over. That's how much I don't like Mac Jones.
Bailey Zappi equals Mac Jones.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like
So he doesn't believe in either of them, technically.
Slightly greater. Look at half greater. I don't know how to do that.
Mac Jones, I just never have any faith in Alabama quarterbacks, truthfully. There's one guy in the league that's kind of changing my opinion on that, but not going to be Mac Jones yet.
Nope.
Would it be a guy that John really hates?
Probably.
I mean, is he technically still Alabama boy, even though he left? Did pretty good at Oklahoma. I think you know who we're talking about.
I
Is
don't.
that who you're talking about?
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that guy.
What did he do to you?
He went to the Super Bowl.
Lots of people who go to the Super Bowl. You never go to the Super Bowl. Do you just hate everybody?
Yeah.
You still like half the league. Sorry.
Too
back
far. Aru.
Sorry. Back to players that they gained in free agency for the Dolphins. Tackle Calvin Anderson from Denver on a 2-year, $7 million deal.
Yeah, I would have wanted to get out of Denver too, but
Why?
did you see how they did last year? I don't see it being much brighter this season.
Yeah, they got a different coach. Sean Payton is the huge upgrade.
You're not wrong there.
I'm a Packer fan.
Yikes.
That guy is not. Good luck. You
You guys are ridiculous.
taking over or am I doing resign?
Nah. Oh,
the
yeah.
last
Sorry. I
time-
forgot. I was taking
We'll
the
get
draft picks.
Oh, go for it.
Oh. What?
No,
what do you
we'll get there.
No.
Trust me, we'll get there. We'll get there. We have a lot to talk about
Yeah.
still.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, we have the worst team to talk about. No, just kidding.
The worst team last year. Yeah, you're right.
Last year's a good point.
Wait, the worst team for the last 20 years?
No.
We're not talking about the Cowboys.
No. That's the Houston Texans. All right.
Wrong
On Texas team. All right, they resigned cornerback Jonathan Jones, 2 years, $19 million. Isn't he like 50?
I was about to say the same thing about Jabril Peppers.
Whoa, Peppers ain't that old, is he?
that old.
Isn't he 30?
Come on.
Probably pretty close now.
That's
It's
about
pretty-
it's
we're
about
getting
when
old, David.
safeties.
Put some respect on the guy who almost won Heisman as a defensive player. It's
You're right.
impressive.
You're right.
All right, you're
But yeah, Jonathan Jones is definitely getting up there in age.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I don't know off the top of my
2 year,
head, but
$19 million, definitely overvalued, especially at the cornerback position. But
Drew will shotgun at the end of the
Oh, you're gonna make me shotgun?
No, you don't have to.
I'll shotgun
Yeah,
with you.
we'll do it.
For who?
Just for you, Drew.
For Drew?
Yep.
He better be doing one with us.
Yeah, he will. Well, I'll be getting a Snapchat here soon. All right. So,
Which one of these players do you think
Love
actually
Jabril.
makes a more immediate impact? Jonathan Jones or Jabril?
Jabril for sure.
Yeah.
I really like him actually. When he was on New York Giants, obviously I got to see a lot of him because he was.
I don't get it.
Hey, so I don't get it, but yeah, it's definitely gonna be him. I liked him when he was with the Giants, and he was just starting his career there, obviously. So I think it'll be good. But all right, some notable draft picks. I'm gonna talk about this one because round 1, pick 17 was Christian Gonzalez, cornerback out of Oregon, and this is 100% no matter out of everybody drafted in the entire 2023 NFL draft this year. Jabril Pepper, Christian Gonzalez was the steal of the draft. 100%. I think he could have went 3rd overall. I'm being completely honest.
I definitely agree with you. It was definitely steal of the draft. I think that, I guess, them signing Jonathan Jones, maybe it's just a little bit of mentorship, kind of show the boy around the league. But I think that Christian Gonzalez, unfortunately for him, he plays defense. Otherwise, I guess they actually do a defensive rookie of the year, and Sauce won it. So a corner is definitely no. I'm just saying a corner. I honestly, I always forget that they don't just do one rookie of the year. They actually do an offense and a defensive player.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Which could have also gone to the Jets if somebody didn't get injured.
we got both.
You did?
Yeah, Garrett Wilson.
Wow. Yeah,
Garrett Wilson, and it would have been Breece Hall.
Gone to Breece Hall if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah. Sample size.
Refresh my memory. I should know this because we're on a football podcast, but I don't right now. Christian Gonzalez is the guy that's over 6 foot tall at cornerback who can also run a 4.3.
Yeah,
correct. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
You're right. Still the draft.
We
were
talked
watching the draft and we were like, "What? You took this corner instead?"
Literally
Why
the
is he
entire
balling right now?
the entire time. He was like number 1 on Mel Kiper's like big draft board. You know, they always does every year. He was number 1 there for like so long. Like when all these teams are like, corner's a big need, they should draft Christian Gonzalez. And then next corner. I was like, oh my, and then out of everybody, the Patriots get him, which obviously he's going to like Bill Belichick, which is probably one of the better situations to go into. Right. I mean, like their defense as a whole isn't great, but like just to be able to be coached up by that guy, and then if he does end up moving on eventually, like, oh my God, like.
Just look at it this way. Leave it to the Patriots to draft a cornerback way later, and he's just going to be amazing because they did it last year. I'm blanking on his name, but he almost won defensive rookie of the year. He was on that talk for the cornerbacks. He's one of the top cornerbacks
from the Patriots.
Yeah, last year.
The only other one I know is Tariq Cohen. He was the other one that was.
Yeah, but that was Seattle.
Yeah,
he's really good too. But he was in that talk with those 3.
Yeah.
I forget his name. This is horrible. I should look it up. But the other person I was going to mention is Stephon Gilmore because he wasn't really that highly scouted coming out of college. And
obviously was a stud his entire career.
All right, the only other notable draft pick that I have for the Patriots, there are a couple guys that could make it from the 2nd and 3rd round, but the Patriots did end up drafting a 4th round kicker, Chad Ryland out of Maryland. I put kicker because
it's kind of crazy.
Obviously, Bill Belichick sees something. Otherwise,
I mean, I don't think the Patriots had that big of like a issue with kicking in the past. Like, why did they have to go spend a 4th round pick on them? It's because they had so many picks. They picked like 5 picks before that.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, fuck it, let's go with the kicker.
We got to take someone. It might have just been a case of best available.
Damon, you'll sing a lullaby and you'll get $20 for Braden because he's got to go to bed.
Nobody wants to hear that. I'm gonna save everyone.
They're they're making fun of me because I wasn't reading it to you, so they said that you didn't want to make the bread. So
it's probably really loud.
There you go. I thought you were gonna sing soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur, happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr.
You say that every night, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, kicker at the end. I think that, again, Bill Belichick, he's a mastermind. He's definitely got a plan. We don't know his plan.
All right. Anything else on New England Patriots? I think
we just need to talk about Bill Belichick.
Oh, yeah. Is it Bill's last ride?
Like,
he has been a losing coach for, I guess, probably like 3 seasons now. I mean, okay, he went to the playoffs 2 years ago, but they got absolutely demolished by the Buffalo Bills. They probably shouldn't have been there. They were like the 7 seed. They barely snuck in. Like, I don't count that. So
I definitely don't think that this is his last year. Obviously, at any time, he could just up and leave. But I also think that, I mean, he's definitely not the type of guy that's going to be asking for a farewell tour. So when he does ride off into the sunset, he's just going to ride off into the sunset.
Yeah, like kind of just like, peace, I'm out, deuces.
He also, I don't think, he's actually not the oldest head coach in the NFL, right? Pete Carroll.
I would assume.
Yeah, I think he's
old. Even though Bill Belichick has been coaching longer, as a head coach in the NFL, I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon. I would like him to leave, but that's a different story.
Alrighty, New York Packers. I mean Jets.
You guys are so rude.
What? Oh, come on. When it's the Packers' turn and it's the Cowboys' turn, you guys are. It'll be a field day. That's cap.
I'm gonna not make the playoffs. We should be nice to me.
Oh, well,
you guys are
no mercy.
You guys gonna tank for Caleb Williams?
If
because you guys need a quarterback.
I love J-Love.
I'd hope you love him.
I love him.
I hope he shows you love back.
He does.
Actually,
homies.
No, like I meant during the season.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Before we talk about the New York Packers, we have more people watching right now than we have subscribers. So you people who are not subscribed that are watching, the homies, we're best friends now. You need to go ahead and hit that sub button because
Sports Nation.
Yeah. Hey, whoa. No, just kidding. But yeah, we're gonna need that those subs to go up because a lot of people in this chat want Damon's hat signed and personally given to them. So if you want to help out, good cause.
I will fly there and hand it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, don't promise that. He will send it on a plane that flies to you.
Oh, also you get $30 if you sing this right now, right before.
What is it?
Can't see it.
Just read it.
Rock by Damon. Damon is a sweet guy. Damon loves pie, especially from Gigi that makes him pee in her chair. Interesting. You sang it, so you got $30 coming. Yeah, I expect you to Venmo me.
Hopefully it dings soon.
Ding.
Ding, Prezer, done.
So on to the New York Jets.
Yeah. Jets, here it is.
Unfortunately, this last season, they kind of had a late season collapse, losing, I think it was 7 of their last 8 games.
Something like that,
They started like 6-1, 6-2, and ended 7-10. We actually missed something. The Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
Vegas odds, they have them at 7.5 wins, which I think
that
is
so hard.
About right where they need to be.
Yeah, because I can see them going 8-9 just because Bill Belichick is like him.
Until they get DeAndre Hopkins, then
I'm gonna have to reevaluate that. But
too bad you couldn't like time it.
As their roster stands right now,
we'll definitely have to redo these predictions.
Later
right
on.
before the season starts. But on to the Jets. A couple people that we lost in free agency. James Robinson.
Rip. No, I'm just kidding.
Didn't really lose anything. He was supposed to be our running back, and then we drafted Breece Hall, and obviously he took over, and he was kind of sporadically there in the offense to end the season last season with Breece being out. But again, not really anything that we lost.
Speedweed, thanks for the sub.
Ew.
What a guy.
Let's go.
We already talked about these ones earlier, but Mike White, Braxton Berrios, and Dan Feely all go into the Dolphins. Again, I think that Mike White is one of the best backups in the league, and honestly, I think him and Zach both had 3 wins last year, so it's like,
I mean, dude, I kind of like Mike White. I thought he was going to be that guy. I thought, like, literally when he came in, I was like, oh my God, the Jets are going to make the playoffs and they're going to go all the way.
He was actually going to be the Brock Purdy story.
Yeah, that's who I thought, honestly. I really did.
I thought Joe Flacco was going to be that guy.
Shut up. He
I
was
mean-
Super Bowl winning Joe Flacco,
I
but
don't like Joe Flacco.
he's all right. Do you think he's a Hall of Famer? I don't.
Joe Elite Flacco.
No, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
No, the one championship that he did win was on the coattails of his defense. So
Big time. And Jacoby Jones.
who won? And did he win Super Bowl MVP?
There's no way.
I think he did.
There's no way.
Quarterbacks always win Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, but not that one.
Did Joe Flacco win Super Bowl MVP?
No, he didn't.
No. Was it someone on the defense?
I think it was Ray Lewis. If I had to
Yeah.
Of
guess.
course.
Yeah.
It was a popularity contest, really.
Rightfully so.
Obviously, our key acquisition in free agency this year with the New York Jets was a quarterback by the name of Aaron Rodgers, or as they like to say, some quarterback from Cal.
Fair assessment.
Obviously,
Yeah. Oh, he's like, who is that?
I feel like the compensation that we had to give up to get him was more than I would have liked. But
I think you lowballed me.
what?
Damon, did you get the
Should've gave me
bread?
more. Did not?
Oh,
JK, I did. Oh, shout out to you. I know who you are finally. That would be you that would put that in the chat, make me sing that. But thanks.
yeah. Damon got the bread.
Worth it.
We ended up swapping first round picks this year, and the Packers ended up taking Van Ness, right?
Yeah. Luke Van
Yeah.
Ness out of Iowa.
Yeah, and then our first round pick was Will McDonald, and I feel like we both kind of got what we needed still in the draft with those two picks. So
I'm here for it.
I mean, I guess we'll talk about this when the Packers come, but I don't. I love Luke Van Ness. I think he'll be great. I just don't understand where he's fitting in my defense because
You have a lot of things on
I
defense
have
there.
Rashawn Gary and Preston Smith both playing those two positions on outside linebacker, defensive end-ish.
yeah, I think that Aaron Rodgers' impact this next season, will pretty much rely solely on the health of his running backs and wide receivers around him. Obviously, this last year was not MVP Aaron Rodgers anymore, but the offensive play caller now is the offensive play caller from when he was
that guy.
MVP
Yeah.
for 2 years in a row.
Well, I will
So
go ahead and promise you that he was not calling any plays when Rodgers won the MVP back-to-back. It was Rodgers calling those plays.
No, yeah.
So you can take that with a grain of salt. Either
Because
way,
now
or
Rodgers is going to call his own
I was
plays.
about to say, he's
who will
still
sit
calling
back
his
and
own
not
plays.
talk and tell him what to do. So
maybe not call the plays, but write up the playbook.
Yeah,
help
sure.
write
So-
up the playbook.
I've seen Rodgers in the past have an off season and come back before he won those back-to-back MVPs where I thought he was washed.
Yeah.
But
Obviously, on top of Aaron Rodgers, we also acquired wide receiver Alan Lazard from the Packers, Randall Cobb. Obviously, McCullough Hardman came from the Chiefs, but then Adrian Amos from the Packers as well. So the New York
Jesus
Packers thing, you guys aren't wrong, but
Okay,
this
yeah,
isn't
thank you.
this isn't the first time in NFL history that this has happened.
Okay, I would agree.
So,
They-
we should have just called him the Tampa Bay Patriots.
when
So-
a guy like
That was
Aaron
two
Rodgers,
There was
players.
way more than
Three
that.
players. When a guy like Aaron Rodgers moves when he's been with the same team like his entire career, obviously people are going to want to follow him, especially people that have been with him for a long time. So I agree that it's bound to happen. He said you were right. And same thing happened to Tom Brady. Maybe not to this extent. There still is a little bit more Packers that move with him. But let's talk about Alan Lazard for a second.
Yeah.
4 years, $44 million. 11 million annually if you can't do math.
It's 3 with the team. It's a 3 with the team option on the
It's
fourth.
same
So
average as Jacoby Myers, and I think honestly I'd rather give Alan Lazard that money than Jacoby Myers.
I would rather give neither of them that money.
Well, that's not what we're talking about. I
Yeah.
agree with you. I would rather not give either of them that money. But we're gonna
Honestly,
pick somebody to give that.
the wide receiver room in New York is a little crowded now, but I don't think that that's a bad thing for Aaron. He definitely has enough weapons. With Brees Hall coming back, the offense shouldn't be the problem now, and that is what has been the problem in the past. Obviously, like last year, I will die on this hill that the Jets had a championship caliber defense last year, and it was their quarterback play alone that stopped them from being able to even make the playoffs. So
Yeah, I get what you're saying. No, I'm all right with it. Oh,
Randall Cobb and Hardman both got 1-year deals, so it's really
It's
they're
like
they're
this
trying
season.
to load Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah, they're loading right now. That's big facts.
Something I do want to say about Rodgers, he was a nice guy and postponed most of his salary for this year, so he's getting paid like $1 million this year. But according to the salary for next year, we owe him $98 million next year. But then he'll do the same thing and push it off. So
you'll be paying him when he doesn't play anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like just spread it out like throughout. You can pay him $1 million for 98 years.
there you go. Pass it on to the children that he doesn't have.
How much to go get belly button piercings? Oh God.
Negative.
That would be a great YouTube video.
Negative.
Hey, we're gonna talk about a tattoo here in the future. So
I would also like to point out that I just noticed that you guys got Tackle Billy Turner. I don't know if you know this.
He used to be
but he used to play for the
Packers too.
just
the year prior to that.
followed Nathaniel Hackett over.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's another guy on your New York Packers.
Damon, you got more bread. I don't know why you get donations,
Let's go.
but
Let's go. I love this. We're gonna start streaming every day.
he said, I get money every day. Why not?
But are you hitting that sub button?
That's the real question. Are you buying some merch?
That's what
We'll get Damon only shirts for you guys. I know that's what you want. That's we listen to the people. If that's what you want,
face. It could be the most disgusting face that I have.
This shirt has his face on it.
It does. You can buy that. If you want an ugly face of mine, we can sell that separately in the store. I'm okay with it.
we can sell that one where Damon's chugging the beer.
For the one where I'm looking at going.
All right, let's keep her moving.
On the 2 phones.
Oh, sick. Everybody should have that shirt.
Re-signed. Greg the Leg just needed a kicker, so I don't think that's a bad re-signing.
How do you feel about Greg the Leg?
Fuck that guy.
Okay,
so
he's done his job.
Definitely not as bad as, why am I blanking on? Brett Maher. That's who it is. Definitely. After watching him kick,
that's tough.
I don't even want to look at kickers anymore. I don't. Nope. I'd rather go for 2 every time.
And then we already talked.
I'm almost
about,
at that point. I really am.
The purists of the NFL hate you.
We already kind of talked about McGovern earlier. Notable draft pick, Will McDonald. He's a freaking an athlete.
Will McDonald.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right after the draft, there's about viral video that went around of him like jumping over cars and shit.
What the?
And I was like,
I did see that.
As a linebacker, definitely it's like Blake Griffin vibes, jumping over a key.
Blake Griffin vibes.
This guy's
Slam.
way bigger than
Yeah, no,
Griffin.
that's what I'm saying. Jumping over SUVs and stuff.
Crazy.
So, I honestly wasn't super high on that pick when it was announced. I'm blanking on the name, but whoever got drafted, I think it was Broderick Jones, the pick before.
Oh, the Steelers, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Broderick Jones.
Shout out Steelers to Christian Powers.
That's actually who I really wanted the Jets to take. But Will McDonald is definitely, I think that he's going to end up playing more linebacker than D-end, which being next to CJ Mosley isn't too bad of a spot to be standing on the field.
Yep, he had 34 career sacks, which is tied for most in Big 12 history.
It's impressive.
So obviously, he did something in college, so hopefully it translates to the NFL.
You want to talk about their pick from Wisconsin?
Joe Tippmann. Woo!
Yeah.
So honestly, Wisconsin this year had a season to forget, but he was probably the brightest spot of it all. I mean, completely. Usually, O linemen and running backs are. Braylon Allen coming to the NFL soon, but yeah, he's a good guy. I watched him live once before I left to go to Florida, so yeah, he's good. But I don't know if he'll play right away. You do have Elijah Vera Tucker in the middle there, so
It's not a bad guy to be learning from.
No, definitely not.
Pretty good.
Yeah, and screw the 4th round pick. Okay.
Oh, that's just rude.
If Carter
They're-
Warren becomes really good, I will publicly apologize to him. But
Vegas
Tell them.
Vegas has them at 9.5, and I think that's
that's all over. I'm smashing that shit.
of course.
Well, of course you say so, yeah. But
I'm pretty sure I have them in the under.
oh yikes, at 9.5. Oh,
That's still
Aaron Rodgers hater, Aaron Rodgers lover. So like, what do you expect? You should listen to me and still pick the over.
Aaron who?
Oh yeah, some guy from Cal.
Oh,
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
the
I
quarterback.
don't like that you just did that. Said everything I was about to say.
Also, Christian Powers in the chat, I pinned it as he's the number one. He said, I project the New York Jets to win 8 to 10 games.
8 to 10. I respect that.
So
He's
somewhere
a Steelers fan, and the Steelers have had, I think it's 16 or 17 straight above 500 seasons. So, man knows football.
True.
Man does know football.
What do you know about that 2010 Super Bowl in Dallas?
That is a tough one to swallow. Pause.
The last time a Lombardi Trophy was in Dallas was in 2010. So sad. For Cowboys
Do we
fans.
have to bring
Not
that
for
up,
me.
bro?
Not for you.
No, it's fine.
Kind of sad for Christian.
Yeah. Got plenty of.
Was it the year before that? Yeah, it was the year before that they won.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to our record predictions. As we were talking about the Jets record, we're going to go back and go through our record predictions for this season. So just recap last year, the Bills went 13-3, Dolphins 9-8, Pats 8-9, and Jets 7-10.
Just go through all 4 of yours, and that's
All right, sounds good. So for mine, let's see what I did here. I forgot. No, I'm just kidding.
for the Bills.
So I do have 3 of the 4 teams in. This is not mine. This is Damon's, I think. Oh, just kidding. This is mine. Oops. I was looking at yours earlier, and I thought it was mine. But this one is mine. So I have the Bills being the 2 seed in the AFC entirely and going 13-4. Then I have the Jets as the 5 seed going 12-5. I have the Dolphins just missing the playoffs at 10-7. And then the Patriots going 6-11. So obviously we'll get into it when we talk more divisions, but Miami with a 10-7 record, just missing the playoffs, is a tough one.
Tough.
It just so happens that the AFC happens to be a little stacked, when it comes to, especially with the emergence of the Jaguars last year and the Ravens getting Lamar Jackson back, and just a combination of everything. I think that the Dolphins will just miss out, so that's tough for them.
Yeah. For my predictions, I have the Bills actually going 15-2 seed. You only have them losing 4 games. Come on. I have the Jets coming in second place at 13-4, the Patriots at 8-9, and the Dolphins in last place actually at 7-10.
So I would like to go ahead and take this time to apologize to you because I lied. I do not have the under on the Jets.
That's good.
I did not disrespect them that much.
I appreciate it.
So what I have is I have the Bills winning the division at 15-2, as do you. I do have the Dolphins coming in second place and getting the 6th seed at 13-4.
Nah, that's second in the division, not the
Right.
conference.
No, I'm saying 6th seed in the.
That's wild.
Hey, I'm pretty high on them.
At
I'm telling you, if they didn't have those
13-4, the 6th seed.
I don't care.
Well, it's only because they're the.
That's painful
Hey,
for them.
I have the Jets making the. Yeah, that is kind of.
That's painful for them.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened. I'm not really sure. But I do have the Jets making the 7th seed in the AFC and coming in 3rd in the division at 11-6. So I am taking the over technically. Here's the issue. I do have the Patriots right now at 3-14. I talked a little bit earlier about how I think this offense actually has some weapons at it now. I do like Ramondre Stevenson. I do kind of like this passing room. But Mac Jones, I should give them more wins. I probably will change this. I definitely will change this. They're not making the playoffs. I might give them 2 more wins. That's about it.
Yeah.
Unless they get DeAndre Hopkins and Dalvin Cook, and then that's it.
Then all 4 teams from the AFC East might make the playoffs.
No, Jets are getting picked.
Hey, you said the Jets.
Well, I'm not gonna say the Packers are getting kicked.
Oh, that's true.
That'd be
Jets,
The team
Jets,
from
Jets,
New York.
Jets. All right. Sorry, chat. This is where you go away for a second. No, I'm just playing. But I'm just playing. I'm just not going to pay attention to you as hardcore. Sorry about it. But it is time for our AFC East draft.
Put me on the spot.
Are you ready? I got notes, but we gotta get this in one take though, because it's going elsewhere. So we got to be.
Hey Siri, roll a die.
smart and methodical with
Does
it.
it say 6 every single
I
time?
don't know. Let me try.
I don't want the first pick again.
Roll a dice. It's 6.
It just says 6
Hey,
every
Siri.
time.
Roll a dice.
Roll a dice.
Okay, 5.
Do we let the fans for 10 seconds? Whoever gets the most names commented in the section gets the first pick.
It's you, obviously.
Oh, I'm pretty popular.
Apparently.
You said you don't want the first
I
pick.
don't, because I had it with the other one. Check out Fortune Sports on TikTok. We're gonna have a number 0 draft.
Yeah, coming very soon.
All time in all sports, we're in the number 0.
John and I did post a TikTok on there today as well. So
We did.
Show that some love. No. That's coming. We have other content coming.
We didn't have Grimace Shake. Also, somebody said Pete the Happy Dad in the corner.
Hey, happy dad.
Jack got it.
You said. Said it's empty. No, but all right.
Who was it that said it?
Ray,
Oh, nice.
nice,
Cool.
nice guy.
Nice guy.
Shout
Happy
out
dad.
to you, Trey.
Happy dad for the win.
All right, so we're gonna do the AFC East draft. Hunter is going to start us off. We're gonna pick not offense, not defense. It's the entire division and offense, defense, anything you want. It could be a punter for all I care.
Basically,
You won't.
best 9 players. We're each going to
Yep.
draft 3 players, and then obviously we want your guys' impact. We want your guys'
Input.
input. That's the right word. We want your guys' input on which of the 3 of us took the best 3 players.
All
Are
right.
you taking the third?
Yeah.
I'll take third.
All right, I'll go second. So hold on one second. We're going to do the AFC East draft. We are going to pick 3 players each. We'll get the best players out of the entire division. Hunter, go ahead and start.
We going snake draft or linear?
Snake.
Has to be
Snake. Damn, I get 1 and 6. Okay, best player in the AFC East.
Dude, yeah.
I'm
Somebody.
going to take a very biased pick. I'm going to
Okay.
take the defensive rookie of the year, Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner going 1-1.
No surprise at all. Hunter takes in the first round, first pick overall.
Well, picking
1-1.
1 and 6. Picking 1 and 6 is tough.
All right. For my second pick in the AFC East draft, I'm picking wide receiver from the Miami Dolphins, Tyreek Hill.
Fair. That was why I was biased. That was why I was contemplating over here.
You're still probably going to get a guy that you would like. With the 3rd overall pick in the first round, Damon is going to select wide receiver from the Buffalo Bills, if he stays there, Stephon Diggs.
It's a wonderful pick.
Very solid pick.
I mean, him and Tyreek, I would argue, are both top 5 receivers in the entire NFL. So, them going in the first round of this draft, but Sauce scoring 1-1 is outrageous. Astronomically down bad.
I don't think so at all, but we'll see how the season goes.
After the chat to pay your respects to this team
Yeah.
that just died. With the
You're just mad that we didn't trade Sauce for Rodgers. You thought
My God.
this
There
man
wasn't
literally
one
thought
second
this
that I
man
thought-
literally thought that they were going to get
Okay.
Sauce Gardner for Aaron
If we're
Rodgers.
being realistic, what I actually thought was going to happen was Quinnen Williams.
Oh, well,
I would have been equally as pissed off.
He should be. He's a beast.
4.
With my second round pick, 4th overall, I will be taking cornerback out of the Miami Dolphins, newly added to the team, Jalen Ramsey.
Yep, they're very fair.
Quite the
I
team
don't
he's
think
on.
that he is as good as he used to be,
I don't think so either.
but I
Still
I respect
a top
the pick.
cornerback in the league.
all right
For
with,
sure.
with my second pick. I can't let this guy fall any further. It's going to be the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. He did have some struggles with interceptions last year. I do think he cleans it up a little bit. I don't think he takes as many risks, especially because he's got tight ends to check down to now. So I think he's a solid second round pick.
With my pick in the second round, let's see.
Cold feet. He's like, think of Jets players.
What's his name going for him?
Let's go ahead and take
Oh my God.
defensive line for the New York Jets.
Oh my God.
Quinnen Williams.
The bias is real. People.
Yeah.
The bias is real.
Wow.
And I might as well go ahead and take with the 7th overall pick, quarterback for the New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers.
Who?
That guy from Cal.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
If you guys pick, if you think he had the best draft, you're a New York Jets fan.
New York Kaiser fan.
All right, with my last pick, I'm going to go to the only team that hasn't been taken, the New England Patriots. I'm going to go outside linebacker, Matthew Judon. He was
Fair
top
enough.
3 in sacks last year.
I thought you
I
were
might
going
even
to say.
been number 1. I was not going to pick Bailey Zappi.
No, I
Just
thought
kidding.
you were going to say Christian Gonzalez.
Oh, no, not yet. I haven't seen him play yet. But, yeah, I think Matthew Judon's a really good spot pick. And we finally give the Patriots some love.
Last pick of the draft, Damon.
The last pick of the draft in the AFC East draft, I will be taking outside linebacker / defensive end from the Buffalo Bills, Von Miller. Very questionable on your haircut, especially what I just saw in the match. Capital One, the match. I don't know what that is, but you are a hell of a football player.
He's definitely getting a little older, but still very solid. And hopefully he can win another ring in Buffalo.
Also won a Super Bowl MVP.
Yep.
In the chat right now, let us know who you think won. Hunter's 3 Jets players. Damon's wonderful picks, I must say.
Thank you.
Or my wonderful picks.
Thanks,
Let me know right now.
Thanks,
I
John.
want to know. And don't just say Damon because you're his family.
My family. Shout out to your family.
Right now, come on. I'm waiting for you. Any moment now.
Who won?
Who's next?
You decide!
I didn't know we were epic rap battles of history now.
No free ads.
All right.
Oh.
Well, so but okay, I did have a list here. I just want to talk about the one person on my list that we did not pick. Jalen Waddle.
I honestly thought about it when I took Rodgers. I was going to do Waddle, but I decided to take 3 Jets players.
I still think that I would rather have for this season. If it's like just this season, I don't think I want Von Miller. That's a bold take. It's a bold take, but I think if we're going off of this season and accolades in the past, it's tough that nobody said Jalen.
All right, chat, keep her going. We got 2 votes Hunter, 1 vote Damon.
There we
0
go.
votes me. Sad.
Look at that. The New York Jets are taking it.
He said we might as well just drafted all 9 New York Jets players at this rate.
I mean, there's probably 9 that we could have come up with that could have been solid answers.
Corey Davis.
Garrett Wilson.
Oh, that guy.
That guy.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
I was thinking more along the lines.
Non-biased. He's pretty good.
I was thinking Mekhi Becton.
Oh.
Being able
Greg
to
Zerla?
accumulate over 1,000 yards when Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson, and Mike White are throwing you the ball.
You have some of the best backup quarterbacks in the league.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He shouldn't have had over 1,000 rookie season receiving yards, but
Well, we're not getting any more answers.
So-
We're getting late. I guess people are going to bed on us. So, Hunter, you take it, but we'll see what TikTok decides and Instagram and all those good things. So, Fortune Sports Crew on both Instagram and TikTok. It's also not too late to get your merch at fortunesportscrew.com. The promo code Fortune will last until tomorrow. So, Cougar Hunter top 3. Sorry, that threw me off. I read that and I lost my train of thought. But yeah, just make sure you check out Fortune Sports Crew. We're gonna have the website. It'll be up now till the end of time. So if you can't cop any merch right now, you can come visit us next week, and we'll be able to make sure you guys get your merch. Okay.
some other items of merch that we have on there. We do have T-shirts. We have the koozies. John and I actually didn't
show.
but we actually do have phone cases as well.
I hope that you can see it.
We have the can koozies, and obviously there will be more merch.
Oh my god, the possibilities are endless with us. This is just our first preliminary
There
merch
are currently no jackets or hoodies on there, but that's because it's 110 in Arizona.
Yeah, we're not thinking about wearing sweatshirts right now. When you in Wisconsin, when you're watching, and it's getting close to football season, we'll think about you. Don't worry. We'll have some sweatshirts available for you.
Beanies.
Oh, dude, possibilities are endless. So make sure you stick with us as long as you can, forever.
Anything
You're
else? Any
stuck.
questions?
Yeah. Okay. This is the time we're almost concluded our first episode back of Football's Destiny, presented by Fortune Sports. Wow, can't believe it's that time again.
Excited.
We've been talking about this.
Season, baby.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this for like 3-4 months now. And
Yeah.
July 1st has just been on the calendar. It's just been a day,
Here we are.
and here we are.
Darius said John needed that phone case. Facts.
Didn't save the phone though. That's
Yeah.
already gone.
Yeah, the back of my phone's already shattered, so at least it looks better now.
At least it won't shatter more.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, now's the time to do so, or else we'll be doing our signing off.
Yeah, sign off.
Oh, yeah. I
not
didn't
really.
think about that. Yeah.
Not really, but we'll improvise.
Improvise, adapt, overcome.
Yeah. Go New York Packers!
I thought you were going to hit us with the Jets, Jets.
I was thinking about it. I like the New York Packers. I mean, Jets.
Well done, boys. We appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Oh, my God. This is only the beginning. It's only going to get bigger and better. Oh, we can't forget about that. Shotgun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how are we going to manage that?
Well, I have my mic off, so BRB.
Oh, what are we supposed to do in the meantime? Read the chat?
Yep. Oh, Matt, you can answer that question.
Let's see. What do we got? During basketball season?
Yeah.
No, we'll obviously do some sort of preview.
Yep. So we also have the Hooper Effect presented by Fortune Sports, so we'll just kind of branch out. So we'll have all the different sports. Obviously, our biggest one and what we feel most knowledgeable about is football. So this is the one we all agreed on to start and get really heavy into. Obviously, basketball is the next one. We also really love basketball. Hopefully, then we can get into a little bit of baseball and hockey and possibly USFL at some point as well.
UFC too.
Yeah, UFC.
Oh my God, yeah.
One thing that I actually didn't mention earlier during my introduction, John and I actually met because we have been working for the Phoenix Suns for the last 7 months. So basketball has definitely become a more predominant subject of our discussions. So we're excited. We're excited for basketball season.
Yeah, I don't know. Some guy from the Wizards.
Some guy from the Wizards. But yeah, as that gets closer, obviously we'll do a basketball preview. Probably do something similar, conferences, divisions.
Yeah, no, I saw that. Yeah. We paid him way too much money, but
I actually just saw Sabonis just got 217
from the Kings.
Yeah,
I mean, I think he deserved it. He was almost a triple double person last year. Yeah. Oh, somebody said if you talk baseball, I'm down. So
go Brewers.
Honestly, we are in the mix of baseball season, so we might see if we can mix some things together. Obviously, I don't think it'll be as long form as this because, at least personally, I'm not as knowledgeable, but I'm getting there.
I was going to say, we do have the Diamondbacks at our disposal here.
We got two Funko Pops right here.
John doesn't know who either of those players are.
Christian Yelich and Shohei Ohtani.
Wow, he is learning. Look at that, chat.
I'm glad that he knows how to read. Baby steps.
So, maybe since the Diamondbacks are good too, we could probably do like a live, or it doesn't have to be live, but we could do like a vlog going to a game or something.
That's what I was thinking. Just something like
we can ask questions and
yeah.
I know. So I was gonna say I know for a Hooper Effect it might be a little bit more biased because we have a Suns fan and then two Bucks fans. Whereas during the football one we have all three different teams, and during baseball we would have three different teams. Yeah. Because you're a Cubs fan, I'm a Brewer fan. Which that's fucked. I don't understand how you keep doing that. But and then John is a Diamondbacks fan.
Woo!
Apparently now.
Well, I wasn't really into baseball, and now that we live here in Phoenix, like.
Oh yeah.
Classic John.
Also,
jeez.
Welcome to Phoenix.
Oh, thanks.
Hope you guys are enjoying your stay so far.
Appreciate
it's a little hot outside, but you don't have to shovel sunshine.
Facts.
I've never even heard that before.
Facts.
It's my favorite thing to say to out-of-towners.
You don't have to shovel
down on the concrete out there. I think it would pop like popcorn.
Probably. People fry eggs on the concrete.
Oh, that's how I make breakfast every morning.
That's what I've been doing since April.
Yeah, what? Is that not what you guys all do out here?
Do we have any other questions?
Anything else while we crack our cold ones? I picked the Coors Light. We were sipping on the Busch because like that's a good beer.
Are we gonna shotgun?
We're shotgun. Well, you can chug yours if you want, but
I'll
shotgun mine. You have keys on you?
No, I think yours are over on the couch.
They are. What couch? I mean, no, just kidding.
They're cold.
They're very cold.
They're very cold. That's why I said you could chug yours if you want.
Nah, I'll try to shotgun it.
You want to open?
This is for you guys. Just so you know, I don't like the shotgun. I like to enjoy my beer.
John,
I'm not usually drinking Coors.
Read this once I don't have my mic on.
I can't see.
You should have it pulled up here. Why don't
Sorry.
you?
That's scary.
That's scary. Sorry.
John's fave team are all over. He can't make up his mind to how they all facts.
That's true. This man's a Bears fan and a Cowboys fan. He's a Brewers fan and a
I like-
Diamondbacks fan.
I like this question.
Question in the chat from Brian. Appreciate you for tuning in. Who has the most Riz out of the three of us?
Well,
I'm married.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was literally
Does
just,
that mean you kind of win by
Oh,
default?
I
yeah.
think so.
I was just-
In this case,
I was literally just about to say that. I was like, does Hunter count because he's married? Yeah,
I am also older than both of you.
yeah. Mr.
Barely,
Vintage said
technically,
Right.
but
Hunter 100%. So
You win. I like that question. Though.
it's the beard.
I can't grow that. That's not fair.
You'll get there.
Thanks, Dad. Thank you, sir. It's gonna hurt.
One more.
yeah, it is. It's cold as hell.
Yeah, it's cold as shit. These Rockies are
Okay,
like
excluding Hunter. Yikes.
excluding
Damon has more
Hunter.
Riz than me.
Who has more Riz?
Yeah.
The mountains are blue. Well, I guess I come in last if we're going off of having a wife and having a girlfriend.
Damon.
I was about to say
So that means he has the most
Yeah,
Riz
because we don't have Riz right now.
Bullpen is stacked.
Yeah, the bullpen. All right.
Cheers, boys. This is for you.
Can we do that outro while we do it?
On behalf of all of the Fortune Sports boys, this is Johnny, Damon, and Hunter signing off.
What?
Say something.
So
Oh.
we're coming at that.
JETS. Jets.
Deuces and smooches.
Toodles.
That's cold.
Told you it's been a while. It's built. Forgot how that works.
We love you guys.
Love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in next week.
Say, talk about that really quick, since you're still there. Next
Sunday.
week.
Next
Sunday?
week, we are definitely going to be posting all of our social media. Keep liking that. Keep commenting. We got another chance to win some merch on that as well. Guess what? What division we're going to be doing next week? So we're going to shoot for Saturday or Sunday.
Watch out. Watch out for a post tomorrow. That's where you can comment what division you think we're going to be talking about next week.
Absolutely. Also look out for those TikToks and any other things that we post on social media. Appreciate everybody. Fortune Sports Crew on all social media. I do appreciate all the shares from the boys. Appreciate all the love.
Me too. I do.
All love.
All right, peace.
See you guys.